on Unbeaten, your home for live sports, and we are kicking off Only Wrestlers Live tonight with an absolute blockbuster for the OWA Women's Championship. So without further ado, let's go to our maestro on the mic tonight, the great Joe Dombrowski.
Introducing first the challenger to my right, from the 412. She is a world record holder and undefeated in power slap. This is Dynamite Danny Mo. And to my left, first, she is accompanied by the bombshell, Mila Moore.
Not a lot of
And she represents from Charlotte, North Carolina. She is the current reigning and defending OWA Women's Champion, La Gringa de Mas Mexicana, the undeniable diamond, Tessa Blanchard.
Both of these women, Tessa and Mila Moore, have very justifiable monikers. In everything that Joe Dombrowski just said about them is true, and I don't mean to put over Dombrowski.
Certainly hard to argue that. And you look at the history of the OWA Women's Championship, it goes back to July in OWA New Orleans, triple threat match. And there it is. Tessa Blanchard, Danny Mo, and Persephone, now the current CMLL Women's Champion. A classic triple threat, and Danny Mo, Mark, came within an eyelash multiple times during that match of becoming the inaugural champion. Tessa ended up coming out on top, and since she has defended against a who's who to maintain this title reign, Harley Hudson, the Spark Jada Stone, Callie and Tita, and now, quite frankly, this is a match that fans have been waiting for almost a full calendar year. Danny Mo has been chomping at the bit to get another opportunity at this title. And Tessa Blanchard, classic Blanchard mentality, classic Blanchard actions there.
Well, it's the champion's advantage. Obviously, Danny Mo is going to need to pin Tessa in the ring, or I guess get a submission. We've seen bigger things happen. I don't know if that would be. It would certainly be a major upset if we saw Danny Mo get a submission victory here over Tessa Blanchard. But it goes to show you when you talk about Persephone, Danny Mo, and Tessa, this is the very top of the sport internationally.
Yep. Certainly the upper echelon, no doubt about that. And Tessa Blanchard and Persephone had an absolute war for CMLL's historic U.S. broadcast in Las Vegas. Danny Mo also had an incredibly busy weekend.
Yes, as the ring introduction just said, undefeated in power slap.
She is 1-0 thus far, and it was a dominant performance. And Tessa Blanchard wanting no part of the challenger here early on. And the Pittsburgh fans letting Blanchard have plenty right now. Mila Moore actually quoted as saying earlier today that no one in Pittsburgh has ever seen two women as beautiful as them. And as a Pennsylvanian, I take a little bit of offense to that, but nonetheless, difficult to argue their point.
Tessa getting inside to break the count. I did not see any hair pulling.
Tessa Blanchard, master tactician. She learned from the absolute best, her legendary father, Tully. A name synonymous with the history of professional wrestling. And once again, you know, you have to question this, Mark. Is this Blanchard having an absolute attitude, or is this all part of the strategy?
I don't think those things are mutually exclusive. It's to get in the head of Danny Mo, and it's also because Tessa loses her own head quite frequently.
And you want to talk about the highest of heights. This was in May 2024, almost 2 years ago, when Danny Mo competed on Kalapatar in Nepal, the Himalayan mountains near Mount Everest, over 18,000 feet above sea level. Without question, a record being broken in the sport of professional wrestling. There isn't anything Danny Mo's not willing to do. Great crucifix here, and Danny Mo able to roll through with momentum. And look how quickly Blanchard gets back in the ring and establishes control. She is so technically precise. But Danny Moe certainly has the champion scouted. Quick roll up here by the champion. She's got the tights, and Danny Moe able to use that core strength to roll through.
Yeah, Danny Moe, as JCW Women's Champion, also had an incredible record of taking on all comers. She's been embroiled in a feud with Alice Crowley, an on-again, off-again friendship. We now, another pin attempt there, but Tessa reverses it in a hurry.
Great transition there, and of course we're going to see Alice Crowley in action tonight, taking on a very enigmatic, very mysterious woman in Tara Zepp. That match could go any possible way. That could be very dangerous. Look at the athleticism here of Danny Moe. Perfect way to transition to get back on her feet there. And now Moe charging in with a forearm.
Nailed Tessa. The challenger clearly wearied in the corner now.
Danny Moe knows what it's like to make history in many ways. A boot right to the mush of Blanchard. She was also the inaugural women's champion for Battleground, winning that match in the historic 2300 arena. Now Danny Moe picking up momentum here. Basement drop kick connects immediately into a cover. New OWA women's champion, no Tessa. Able to kick out at 2. It's going to take a lot more than that, but a leg drop connects.
Smart of Danny to keep following up and trying to get the pin. This isn't an opportunity for just showboating and getting the better of Tessa. There's a championship on the line, and Danny's here to win it.
And now Danny Moe charging in. Could be looking for that patented, could be a moonsault perhaps. And boom, connects a stalling moonsault, another cover, and every single cover is making it more exhausting for Blanchard.
Danny Moe showing off that balance and core strength in the corner there, and then, coming down with that waterfall over Tessa. And you're absolutely right. Every time Tessa kicks out, she's exerting a lot of energy and essentially bench pressing Danny Moe off of her. And that's clearly Mila Moore on the outside. Come on, right in front of the referee.
Yeah, absolutely. The official caught it. Danny Moe certainly took umbrage to it, but Tessa Blanchard wasting no time, getting the advantage, striking from behind. And this is what the Diamond Collective is all about. Power in numbers, decimating opponents, and just like that, when Blanchard starts to get the advantage, very difficult endeavor for the challenger.
You don't want to be fighting from underneath against Tessa, though every challenger is in a sense when you're in there with a champion. But when Tessa smells blood, I mean, look, already going right after the arm of Danny Moe.
And to Tessa's credit, whether or not she has won via underhanded fashion to defend this title, she has put on incredible performances. Oh, and then Danny Moe, reversal here. Tessa sending her right back inside the ring. Back in March, Jada Stone took Blanchard to her absolute limit, but nonetheless the champion retained, looking to retain once again, and Danny Moe able to kick out another pin attempt here. Danny Moe wisely gets the shoulder up again.
Yeah, I think that referee better watch out. Tessa just gave him some side eye. Ref just doing his job there. Tessa going to pick apart yet another limb, already working on the arm, now going for the leg as well.
And one of the many things that makes Tessa as great as she is, as you can see, utilizing the full 5 count here, the official admonishing there, Tessa can win in so many different ways. She can choose to pick a body part and slowly destroy it. Case in point, it appeared she was going after the left leg, the hamstring of Danny Moe. She could continue that. Danny Moe's explosion is her biggest weapon. She still holds Cal U's indoor pole vault record. She is one of the best athletes in our sport. Tessa Blanchard knows it.
You certainly want to do whatever you can to take away Danny's slapping hand.
Oh, Danny Moe definitely has a powerful right hand, as we saw in Power Slap, not to mention the way she likes to throw hands. And now Blanchard slowing things down here, very methodical. We thank you for joining us here live on Unbeaten. Over 1,000 live sporting events every single year, all throughout the world. Unbeaten is truly your home for live sports. You want to talk about a power slap?
Well, I'd love to see Tessa step up and do it then. Next slap week, why don't we see Tessa get in there and go slap for slap with some of the best athletes?
Danny Moe is struggling right now in front of her hometown. Tessa knows it.
That's a bad situation.
There is no weakness in the game of Tessa Blanchard other than perhaps her own hubris, but right now she is in dominant control. The left knee is affected, and she's going right back to work. Could be going for a leg lock. Can she hook it in?
Got her all tied up.
So close. Danny Moe knows it's coming.
Once Tessa's got it locked in, she can go anywhere she wants and do anything she wants to Danny. Watch, Tessa's not done yet.
No. Tessa has learned from the absolute best, and there's a powerful right hand softening up the challenger Danny Moe, Pittsburgh's own.
Danny's got a lot of fight left in her. She's not giving up. But
oh my God, double underhook into a submission. This is cutting off the circulation to Danny Moe here, but wisely, Danny Moe knows exactly where she's at in the ring, able to grab the second rope.
Yeah, that's great ring awareness from Danny Moe, but how much damage has already been done here, and now this clearly engaging in games of distraction here with the referee. Tessa clearly already has an advantage in this match.
And the referee knows Mila Moore holding that title could spell bad news as Tessa Blanchard continues the attack. You have to wonder how long it will be until Tessa holds gold in TNA as well.
Well, former TNA world champion, as in the men's title, probably the most notable thing in Tessa Blanchard's career that everyone knows about her, had an incredible run at the very top of TNA at the beginning of 2020.
Not to mention one of the top stars in CMLL right now, also former AAA Reina de Reinas champion, Crash Women's champion. She's been tearing it up in Mexico for the past couple of years and continuing to just wear down Danny Moe. Tessa Blanchard doesn't need to go for style points. She wants to embarrass Danny Moe in front of her home city.
Danny is out, breaks from the clutches of Tessa, but for how long?
Not a lot of power left in the knee and hamstring of Danny Moe, able to get the boot up. Slight reprieve. What can Danny Moe do here? Clothesline connects. Struggling to put weight on the left leg. Trying to get a little bit of feeling back in here. Can Danny Moe finally mount some offense here?
Getting some quick strikes in with both her legs and her arms. Oh, there's a nice receipt from when Tessa did it earlier.
Turnabout fair play, and now Danny Moe. Oh! Modified code red there into a cover. New champion. No, Blanchard able to stay in the fight. Look how quickly Danny Moe can turn the tide. So close. This is, despite all of the damage that has been done to Danny Moe, Johnny, this still seems like it's anybody's match. No question about that. Danny Moe knows nothing but grit. She knows nothing but overcoming obstacles.
Up in the fireman's carry.
And now, hold on.
Watch out
Mila
for
Moore up on
Moore.
the apron. This is too much. At this point, the official needs to think about throwing her to the back right now. Oh, a knee to Danny Moe, and now Blanchard over the top into a splash. And the champion looking to retain Danny Moe, just able to stay in the fight.
Referee now going to admonish Mila Moore. Quite a bit of damage already been done here.
Well, he already made Mila drop the title there in the corner, justifiably so. And now Tessa, precarious position here. Danny Moe on the top, a right hand. Pivotal moment of this matchup here, Mark.
Awesome suplexes run in Tessa Blanchard's blood. Danny needs to block it any way she can here.
Since Mila Moore got involved early on, Danny Moe has been trying to fight her way back in it, going for a sunset flip power bomb. Tessa wise to it.
Couldn't quite get her footing there. Oh! Tessa worse for wear. Danny gets the better of that exchange.
Hold on. Oh, what a counter here by Tessa Blanchard. Face first into the top turnbuckle goes Danny Moe. Now Blanchard charging in full speed. Hold on. Oh, my God. Michinoku driver by Danny Moe. New champion, no.
Tessa came down hard right on her head, and for all of the spunk, all of the tenacity of Danny Moe, and obviously a gas tank to wrestle on top of a mountain, Tessa has the experience advantage here of essentially having been born into pro wrestling.
But you think about Danny Moe, she's pulling out tricks from her tool belt we don't always see. Case in point right there.
Reversal by the champion. Oh, gets caught with another big boot.
How much explosion does Danny Moe have left on the legs? Certainly losing some quickness, and now another slap. Oh, God!
Takes Danny Moe
with
all
the Magnum
way
into the cover after hitting the Magnum, and Danny Moe stays alive. Tessa Blanchard has won many matches with the Magnum double knees. An absolutely airtight arsenal by Blanchard. But you can't always defeat will, you can't always defeat heart. And that's what Danny Moe has.
Tessa's getting frustrated at this point. She thought she would have put Danny away a long time ago, it seems.
Look, there's a lot of personal issues between Danny Moe and Tessa Blanchard as well. Now Blanchard looking to pick up speed. Moe catches her with a boot. And now, oh, moon mist twist. The moon mist into the, oh, come on, Mila Moore with the foot on the rope. How many times? How many times?
Well, this crowd has seen enough. I think Danny Moe has seen enough.
Mila Moore needs to get her heels stolen. She needs to get thrown to the back.
This may end up getting physical right here on the apron.
The officials had enough at this point. Oh, hold on, he catches Tessa Blanchard in the act. Was that an eye poke? I think Mila Moore poked Danny Moe in the eye. Oh no, power bomb.
Ref's back was turned.
Into the cover, and the champion retains again.
Here is your winner, and still OWA Women's Champion, Tessa Blanchard.
And like so many times before, the Diamond Collective shines again in the most disgusting way possible. Mila Moore kept finding ways to get involved, waited for the perfect opportunity when the official had his back turned, a blatant poke to the eye. Danny Moe had no idea what was coming at her.
Regardless, the record books will show another successful title defense here tonight from Tessa Blanchard in Pittsburgh.
The OWA Women's Champion remains the undeniable Diamond. We'll be right back on Unbeaten. The bad boy looking to storm hold with JCW Gold tonight as we take a look at our next contest. Without further ado, back to Joe Dombrowski.
Wrestling fans, this next match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Here is a man who has been causing chaos throughout the existence of OWA.
Weighing 193 pounds, he says he is the most dope professional wrestler that this generation has ever seen, that being Joe Alonszo!
Quite frankly, Mark, Joe Alonszo claims to be better than every other luchador on the planet, and he refuses to back down from that statement.
Well, it's important for every wrestler to have one fan who thinks that about him.
Oh boy, he's gonna say something fantastic.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, get up on your feet and make some noise for the most dope professional wrestler that this generation has ever seen, that being Joe Alonszo!
He's off by about a 6-hour drive, give or take.
Philly,
other side
show some respect for Joe Alonszo! We're in Pittsburgh. My apologies to Philadelphia, because I thought we were in a city full of champions, not Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. No. I gotta give it to you guys, though. You guys get to claim my favorite rapper, Mac Miller. But hell, even he decided he'd rather die than be alive living in this hellhole that you people call home.
Come on.
Good Lord.
You don't like that, huh? You don't like Joe Alonszo? You see, you people just hate Joe Alonszo because you ain't Joe Alonszo. Alonszo, because if I weren't Joe Alonzo, I would hate me too.
Well, we should consider, well, he gave the mic back to Joe Dombrowski, fortunate. Well, Joe Alonzo doing a lot of talking now, but that talking might come to an end in just a matter of moments.
His opponent from Italy, weighing 88 kilos, he is the embodiment of Italian excellence and the third millennium Caesar, Cristiano Arento.
Well, OWA is about to get a real dose of real Italian experience. A man who considers himself to be a third millennium Caesar. Mark, that means he's got a very dangerous temper. He was a multi-time champion all throughout Europe before stomping his way into the U.S.
His resume is impressive. His,
Are you kidding me? I don't think Joe Alonzo realizes what he just did.
Yeah, that's probably not a smart move. Cristiano Arento, a 15-year pro, trained by Lance Storm, as you said, in his first OWA matchup here. Taking on someone who anyone familiar with OWA already hates in Joe Alonzo.
Joe Alonzo has had multiple issues with multiple stars. His rivalry with Esfinehi is still essentially on fire right now, which obviously is, you know, you could imagine will continue down the road at some point, as Joe Alonzo wants no part of Cristiano Arento. Joe Alonzo also had issues with the great Samurai del Sol, previously in OWA competition, former NWA junior heavyweight champion, and Pittsburgh does not like Joe Alonzo.
No, that was very clear there in the front row. I don't know what Alonzo thought was going to happen, but a rather predictable response from the fans here in Pittsburgh. Alonzo and Esfinehi 1-1 as of now in OWA, and we got a lockup right here in the center. I guess credit to Alonzo for even going that far in having a stand-up wrestling move.
And since arriving in the U.S., Arento has become a staple in NWA and Exodus Pro, and OWA has been seeking out Arento for quite some time, and for the first time he is now in competition. OWA Pittsburgh. Very interesting contrast of styles here. You have someone like Joe Alonzo. Yeah, he's a great technician, very talented athlete, but he thrives off of antagonizing his opponents, getting inside their head, whereas Arento, he just has a vicious mean streak, and he likes to take it out on his opponents.
Well, that may spell bad news for Alonzo, who himself familiar with the NWA, former junior heavyweight champion in the NWA. Alonzo works at fourth rope. I don't think that Argento's the kind of guy you really want to antagonize.
And as much as Joe Alonzo likes to taunt other luchadors, he actually does have a lucha background. He lived and trained in Mexico way back at the age of 19 with the legend Ricky Marvin. But there's something that switched in the minds of Joe Alonzo. Perhaps he saw how popular Lucha Libre culture has gotten, and he took umbrage to it. What a right hand by Arento. And now,
Bad spot to be in.
vicious fists by the Italian. Oh, Joe Alonzo able to evade that 10th shot. Oh, but not that one.
Sends Alonzo reeling now.
Arento told us, he said, I don't go for style points because everything I do is stylish. Case in point right there. And now looking to pile it on, scooping up Alonzo. Arento picking up momentum, picture perfect drop kick, rolls right into a cover here, doesn't hook the leg. Alonzo able to kick out at 2.
Not a lot of lucha that we are seeing from Arento here. Oh, holds on.
He went to break the code. Alonszo able to evade, follows up with a vicious clothesline, and now the boots to the chest of Arento. Joe Alonszo maintains that supreme confidence at all times.
Yeah, very full of himself and willing to turn his back on his opponent here, which not a great idea, but choking Arento now over that center strand.
Using all of that 5 count before disqualification is Alonszo. And thank you for joining us on Unbeaten. Unbeaten is the home of live sports. Find the channel on Samsung TV Plus, Prime Video, DAZN, Fubo, and Xumo Play. Unbeaten continues to grow, and we are so honored to be part of the Unbeaten family. As Alonszo, this is ridiculous.
Working over the arm in the most incendiary way possible. Keep your eyes on Alonszo. Ah, come on.
Complete disrespect. And this is where Alonszo starts to get himself in trouble.
Yeah, I don't think that Arento is going to put up with it for long. I thought we were going to see some action there from Alonszo, and just when you're expecting it is when he does not deliver. Really just toying with his opponent now.
And this is what happens when you're obsessed with yourself and you get caught. Much like Alonszo is right now, Arento is a very powerful striker. That's his bread and butter. But Alonszo charging in to the corner with a forearm, follows up with a neck breaker. Alonszo rolls over into the cover. Arento able to kick out at 2, and oh no. Oh, come on. Right to the jaw.
Spending a lot of time. He just spit on a fan.
He did. He spit on a kid in the front row.
That's uncalled for. Don't lose us the venue, kid. This is a beautiful space here.
Not just that, we're live on Unbeaten. I mean, that's completely unsportsmanlike. Arento went for the code breaker once again. And now, second gear double clothesline, both men down.
A reprieve for both men. See who stirs here first and can get to their feet. And you know, Johnny, we've still got a heck of a lot of action coming up here today. Joey Janella and Facade. What did Janella said something about how he's going to eat more lobster this year? I have no idea what that means.
Well, he said he wants to win the JCW American title so he can keep traveling the world, eat more lobster, but most importantly, have more women is the best way to describe it.
I guess those are his priorities. Not necessarily in that order.
You know him well enough to know this. Arento looking to put away Alonszo. Great counter here actually by Alonszo into a cover here, and Arento able to stay alive at 2. Oh, hold on. Oh, backslide time. Can the Italian do it? And no, not quite. Oh, finally, the third time is the charm. Into the Caesar slam. Into a cover that has to do it. Alonszo, always so sentient where he is in that ring, able to grasp the bottom rope. The Caesar slam has led Arento to many victories in his career.
Little too close to the ropes there. Arento looking to regroup now.
You'd have to believe going for the Caesar slam again, perhaps. Arento hoisting up Alonszo.
Out the back.
Hold on. Oh, he went for the most dope. Coming up empty. Oh, no. Hold on.
Wheel not working there for Alonszo.
He went for the most dope double axe handle, and he landed on that knee wrong. And as a physical therapist, I don't want to guess, but the way he landed, oh boy, that could be an ACL, it could be an MCL, meniscus possibly. There's a lot of things that could go wrong in a knee. Hold on, what? Are you kidding me? Alonszo rolls up, he's got the tights. Oh, come on. The official didn't see it. Alonszo snakes a win.
Here is your winner, Joe Alonszo.
A lot can go wrong, including having Joe Alonszo steal one from you just like that.
Just when you think Joe Alonszo could not stoop to any lower depths, he fakes a knee injury and pulls the tights when the official doesn't see it. Unreal. But nonetheless, Joe Alonszo walks away victorious once again for Only Wrestlers Live. Do not go anywhere, because we are live on Unbeaten. Not much more needs to be said.
This match is scheduled for one fall.
A moment that the machine has been waiting for, but first, the man who looks to ruin the return.
Make his way to the ring from Amarillo, Texas, weighing 195 pounds, the modern-day outlaw, Chandler Hopkins.
He's defiant, he's brash, he's the self-proclaimed modern-day outlaw Chandler Hopkins. Absolutely one of the top stars in Booker T's reality of wrestling right now. He's also shined across the country, AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, AAA, MLW, and Mark, you've seen firsthand many times, we both have, why Chandler Hopkins is so highly regarded, especially with this most recent vicious streak.
Well, not very highly regarded by that young fan he just stubbed in the first row. Not a stranger to the OWA. He just defeated Esfinehi in the Battle of the Alamo Flag at OWA 4.
And definitely in very underhanded fashion, to say the least. But Chandler Hopkins is at the point in his career where it's working for him. So therefore, he does not care who he has to step on to reach a level of success. But it's very difficult to step on the mountain that he's about to face. After 15 months, he's back. The last time Brian Cage competed in a ring was in the main event of OWA Los Angeles last year, early 2025. So to say this is a long time coming for Cage, that is a massive understatement. It's been an arduous and grinding rehab for the Machine. I've known this man over 15 years. I spoke to him many times during his rehab. This is a massive moment for the Machine.
You know, looking at the size of him and what Dombrowski gave as Brian Cage's fighting weight, there are combat sports where Brian Cage exceeds the upper weight limit of being allowed to compete. The guy's got muscles on top of muscles.
And not to mention, it's the athleticism. Brian Cage, he's gotten massive over the years. His strength is unreal, but he has never lost that explosiveness, that quickness, and wow, impressive, you know, perhaps. Chandler, oh, come on, damn it. The bell hasn't rung yet. Chandler taking full advantage. You were thinking, perhaps, Hopkins congratulating Cage on making the comeback. A lot of athletes would never come back from that type of knee injury that Cage had. And now a blatant low blow. You got to be kidding me.
Starting from underneath here, and Pittsburgh's own referee George Ross calls for the bell.
Well, Brian Cage said he can go. There's no way he's going to back down, but Hopkins wasting no time now that the match is official.
That'll knock all of the air out of Brian Cage and make that explosivity that you were talking about a lot less likely.
And you could see right away going to work on the knee. Brian Cage had to deal with multiple procedures after his injury. And now Hopkins taking full advantage, and Mark, that's the problem. When you do come back from an injury, it becomes a bullseye for your opponents.
Yeah, that unfortunately is just the realities of pro wrestling, but Hopkins here still playing dirty.
Oh, hold on. But Brian Cage, no ring rust here. He opts right back to his feet, and he still has the power.
Basing on his knee well enough to be able to throw those big lariats in the corner.
Well, you have to know Brian Cage did not get cleared until his knee was absolutely 100%. And what a back elbow there by the Machine. Coming up empty, but follows up with a left-handed clothesline. The always ambidextrous Brian Cage hoisting up Chandler Hopkins. Center of the ring. Oh! Hopkins able to land on his feet, able to evade. Perhaps it could have been an F5 there. Oh, Hopkins. Boot to the chest.
Hopkins is going to have no option but to stick and move and to try to remain out of the clutches of Brian Cage.
Absolutely. Hopkins believes in the cowboy way, although I don't think cowboys would even agree with his actions. Cage catches him in midair. Get some bicep curls, and I've seen you do those at the gym before, Mark.
I'm not like that. Hopkins just Flew over the back, landed on his own knee. Cage didn't even look behind him.
Brian Cage has always been relentless in his drive and his tenacity, and there's no doubt returning from this injury was the most difficult part of his career. And this is someone, Chandler Hopkins takes full advantage of that top rope there, and now wasting little time, quickly back in the ring, and now a flatliner by Hopkins. Could it be an upset here? And no, Cage gets the left shoulder up.
Drove Cage's head down hard into the mat, and Cage looks a little woozy. There was not great force behind that kick out.
Well, look, even if you're in great condition, there could be some conditioning issues your first time back in the ring.
Right, they always say there's nothing like being in ring shape. There's no substitute for actually getting in there and running those ropes. Ropes exactly where Brian Cage is at the moment.
And best believe Hopkins has taken full advantage there. You know, Hopkins, he's proven to be a five-tool player. He's got the athleticism, the intelligence, technique, aggression. He's got that mindset of a true quick-draw outlaw. But we are seeing a vindictive side of him that we really haven't seen until recently.
Got to keep Cage down for as long as possible here. Look at this.
Oh, once again.
Got him out of the corner.
Trying to make Brian Cage tap out. The pressure on the knees, the pressure on the abdomen. Cage is one strong reach away from the bottom rope. Can he find a way? Chandler Hopkins.
Very difficult to believe that Brian Cage is going to submit here. But a lot of damage can be done in the process.
And once again, it goes back to that rehab. Is Cage really 100% as he gets to that bottom rope? Hopkins forced to break the hold.
Yeah, there's always the possibility of simply passing out from the pain. Cage holds on here, lives to fight another day, stirring to get to his feet.
And Hopkins is absolutely locked in, although it took a little bit too much time there. Cage trying to fight back to his feet. He's held titles in Ring of Honor, NWA, TNA, also a former FTW champion before that title was retired. Oh, once again, a boot right to the knee and then to the face. Chandler Hopkins. Mark, you have to admit, this game plan, yes, it was completely low-blowed, underhanded, but it's effective.
He's definitely kept Brian Cage at bay, but now really getting distracted here. Going after a child in the front row.
Oh, hold on. Cage, though. This is the issue with Chandler Hopkins. He gets distracted. He gets too full of himself. And Cage only has one thing in mind, decimating the chest of the modern-day outlaw. The Sunny Days Arena chanting for the Swolverine to do a little bit of damage one more time. And Hopkins, he was running for safer ground. Too late. Think you could have heard that chop over at Three Rivers.
Yeah, that just vicious. Even anyone who has been
Whoa, look out, Joe.
Before.
Look out, Joe! Oh! Hopkins sent into the barricade. Have you ever seen Dombrowski move so fast? Now the official's showing a lot of leniency here on the outside.
Yeah, Dombrowski moving like there's a steak dinner involved.
Oh my goodness.
Giving a tour of the Sunny Days Arena is Brian Cage.
And just in time, Cage sending Hopkins back inside the ring. Safe to say Pittsburgh is a Brian Cage kind of town. Oh, but Hopkins using the second rope to his advantage.
Keeps targeting the same part of the body
cover.
on Cage. Oh.
I don't believe both shoulders were down. The official didn't see it. Still went for the count. Nonetheless, Cage stays in the fight.
Well, it's hard to get Cage to lay flat. There's a lot of muscle there.
That's a great point. Hold on.
Oh.
Hopkins comes up empty, and now Cage went for the discus lariat. Hopkins able to evade, now going for another handstand. Oh, coming up completely empty. And now Cage, oh my God, a deadlift German suplex to the Outlaw.
You don't want to give your back to Brian Cage. We saw earlier when there was an attempt at a crossbody. Cage just caught him. The strength is incredible.
And now the adrenaline taking over for the Machine. Hopkins trying to get to the outside. Oh no.
Cage only able to use that power as long if he can base on his legs.
Good Lord. Stalling suplex. Cage rolling into the cover. That has to be it. And it is. Brian Cage victorious in his return. It was a long wait, but it was worth the wait. All the pain, all the scar tissue he had to fight through to get back to the career that he holds so dear. The Machine, Brian Cage, is victorious tonight, and he is back on the warpath in professional wrestling. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back, live on Unbeaten.
More than it seems. TA100 killing everything on the scene. Cracking skulls and breaking bones, making them scream.
The Troublemakers love to cause attention to themselves. What a tag match we have in store. Back live on Unbeaten, and back to Joe Dombrowski.
This is a tag team match scheduled for one fall.
A battle between two of the most over-the-top tag teams you will ever see. The question is, which team will be more off the wall to get an advantage? Case in point, what we are looking at right now.
Coming to you from the Dark Carnival, former four-time JCW World Tag Team Champions.
Introducing first, weighing in at 87 full boxes of popcorn, 71 bags of circus peanuts, and 412 steps of cotton candy. Coming your way from the Dark Carnival, this is the team of Yabo and Ruffo, the brothers of Funstruction.
Well, Mark, cue the balloons, cue the confetti, and of course, cue the chaos.
Popcorn, circus, peanuts, you never really know what you're going to end up with. These four-time JCW World Tag Team Champions have held those championships for a combined more than 1,000 days in their four reigns.
Whoop, whoop, all of Pittsburgh. Two-time JCW Tag Champions, and, well,
This is a Fago town, isn't it?
I would assume so, yes.
Their opponents, representing Alpha Sigma Sigma, at a combined height of really tall and a combined weight of really big, the team of the Big Boss, Glenn Spectre, the Natural, Kanan Christopher, the Troublemakers.
Well, Mark, these are two men who aren't just living in the past, they are coexisting in the past perfectly together. Both former football stars who have made the transition to the ring in seamless fashion, but they also haven't exactly left the frat house.
Right, representing Alpha Sigma Sigma. I think we got a good view of these guys are just not too bright.
Well, Glenn Spectre, the man who has sans hair, is certainly, if you would say, that the head coach of the tag team. And Kanan Christopher is really the five-tool player. He's the star athlete, and Glenn Spectre is really trying to mold Kanan Christopher in his own image. As you can see, Kanan Christopher thought this was not an only wrestler show. He thought this was an OnlyFans show.
I didn't know that was a form of live entertainment, but here we are. That is Yabo the Clown. These two real-life brothers who are both easily over 6'3", and I don't know if I should spoil the trick. I don't think that Yabo actually has curly red hair.
Look, I would never deny that. I mean, look, you're around JCW athletes a lot more than me.
Oh,
all I know is my favorite kind of time is Brothers of Funstruction time. Oh, Glenn Spectre, you're ruining the balloon trick.
The brothers, no strangers to OWA, have 2 victories under their belts already.
Defeated the Backseat Boys to become the 2-time JCW Tag Champions a while back. And I believe almost 800 days as tag champs from 2022 to 24. Oh, God. You know, Yabo is very inventive with his offense. We should probably mention that.
Yeah, and I mean, when was the last time you were slapped with an oversized clown tie?
To be honest, I can't speak about that in public.
Oh
my God!
Well, it's a sunset flip from the referee. Yabo going for the count.
The official almost won the match for the Brothers of Funstruction.
I'm not sure that's how that works, but it does create chaos.
Yeah.
Which is something that Yabo is quite good at.
Glenn Spectre's had enough. Let's see how Kanan Christopher, the natural, can deal with Yabo.
Well, the third man in the ring, that more than ever here. Roll up by Yabo.
Ooh. And this is what makes the Brothers of Funstruction not only so entertaining, they're so difficult to prepare for. It's impossible to know how they're going to get the advantage.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricks up their sleeves, quite literally. Then there's also those massive shoes that they're wearing. And
Yabo has no sleeves.
That's right.
But I get your point. And now for the first time, Ruffo, some would say he's more of a sad clown, but to be honest, he brings a lot of joy to people. I don't think he realizes it, though. Oh. Kanan Christopher, boot to the midsection, tagging back in. The big boss, Glenn Spectre.
Ruffo's in a bad way here.
You know, and Troublemakers, a lot of success. NWA Southeastern Tag Team Champions, OVW Tag Team Champions as well. Not exactly the greatest spellers. They believe fact is spelled F-A-K-T, but it is what it is. Oh, my God! What? Ruffo the Clown is one of the most inventive clowns I've ever seen.
And there you see his pantomiming skills as well. After the Manhattan drop, always making fun of his opponents, getting inside their head.
I feel like the brothers could become tremendous synchronized swimmers if they decide to go that route. Great double team move. Tremendous elevation there by Yabo on the drop kick.
And the rubber chickens have entered the arena.
I believe they do like to use their patented chicken tickle, if I recall correctly.
That is one of their moves. There, where did the popcorn come from, Yabo?
I'm dumbfounded. Perhaps they popped it in their jacket prior to the matchup.
Guess. Those massive pockets just loaded with popcorn.
Kanan Christopher doesn't want those kind of carbs. Oh, well, all right.
Oh, now Ruffo gets some too. Yeah, Yabo is really the more unhinged of the two brothers, both in the ring and out.
And I'm going to take a wild guess and say that popcorn's incredibly salty.
Yeah, I think it's been around for a while. They've probably had that in their pockets since the last gathering of the Juggalos last summer.
I believe you had a few mouthfuls at the gatherings in the
past. What happens at the gathering? Now we got some juggling.
Well, juggling by the Juggalos. Oh my goodness, that is a fastball. Apple to the chest. Hold on, the natural Kanan Christopher now.
Well, Ruffo's going to have to break out of that.
Oh, back elbow. Great technique there. Oh my goodness, down the middle, off the sternum. And now Christopher taking advantage. And now the Troublemakers starting to figure out the scheme of the brothers perhaps. Ooh.
Good job holding on. Both of these teams certainly know how to act in coordination and know each other very well as long-term teams.
And this is what the Troublemakers are all about. Slicing the ring in half, double teams. Oh, they didn't see that coming. What a cross body by Yabo.
From a massive clown off the top rope. How'd you like to see that flying at you?
Unreal. And like you said, Mark, these clowns are big, athletic clowns.
It is actually, there's the chicken. The way that they dress actually distracts. They are deceptively large in the ring.
Well, Yabo took a little bit too much time waving his chicken. And Glenn Spectre takes full advantage, but now Ruffo back in on the action. There's popcorn everywhere, complete chaos in our only tag match of the night. Who would have thought we'd have a rubber chicken chant?
Well, Pittsburgh things. Glenn Spectre, clearly the wily veteran of the team, did a great job of roping in Ruffo there.
And now the vicious side coming out of the natural Kanan Christopher. Certainly a vicious side he picked up from Spectre. And now Ruffo certainly looking sad.
Yeah, that's just his face.
Tag. The Troublemakers in control here. Another double team and a right hand. Oh my God, right into a massive boot. The 6'5" Christopher into a cover goes Spectre. That could be it. And the Funstruction brothers are still in this matchup.
Ruffo worse for wear. Yabo finally reappears on the apron here.
And for those that are wondering, from what I'm told, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the brothers of Funstruction are biological brothers.
Oh, yes.
Perhaps different mothers, but yet they're biological from what I'm told.
Very different faces.
Maybe different fathers. Maybe both.
Ruffo going in hard in the wrong part of town here.
Tag. Look at the quick tags, the effective double teams by the Troublemakers. And what a double team there into a power slam. Kanan Christopher into the cover, and Yabo wisely breaking up the pin. And Ruffo's in deep trouble here, Mark.
Yeah, not much that Yabo can do about it on the outside, just watching his brother in pain. And here we have the possibility of a pinning combination as well as a submission move there. Excellent wrestling.
Kanan Christopher looking to wear down Ruffo. What a night it's already been. We told you there's something for everyone on this show, live on Unbeaten, your home for live sports. You can find Unbeaten on Samsung TV Plus, Prime Video, DAZN, Fubo, and Xumo Play. However you're watching, thanks for joining us. Tell a friend about Unbeaten. Over 1,000 live events every single year. And now another tag by Glenn Spectre. Ooh. Vicious right hand. A much needed collection of right hands here by Ruffo.
Ruffo getting out of the wrong part of town, reaching for the tag to Yabo. Spectre cuts him off.
But two massive boots, even more. Oh, can he make the tag? Not quite. He's cut off at the pass.
I like this Spectre. He's got such an old school vibe.
Tag. Well, that's how he lives his life. According to him, it's 1987. His favorite movie is Wildcats.
Not exactly cinema, but.
Well, it's a football movie, and he thinks he was in it. Oh, Ruffo, perhaps out of instinct. A meeting of the minds there, and a tag into Yabo. Chicken in hand, right fist flying. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought he tossed it. No, he didn't. He faked out the natural.
Some sleight of hand from this massive clown. And there's your move. There's the chicken tickle.
The chicken tickle. Always effective. And now a double team by the brothers of Funstruction. Russian leg sweep into a massive boot by Ruffo. Oh, what's this?
Oh, I think we've got more balloons coming.
You know, we'll let Pittsburgh speak for themselves here. As those balloons, oh, popped upside the head. Both brothers of Funstruction into a fun pin for a fun win.
Here are your winners, Yabo and Ruffo, the brothers of Funstruction.
You know, there's a lot of different kinds of athletes in our sport, but Mark, as you know all too well, there are only two brothers of Funstruction.
They are a couple juggalos, a couple clowns. At the end of the day, they are tag team specialists getting another victory here in the OWA.
No question, there's only one JCW, and that's why the brothers of Funstruction have been so popular and so successful Yabo and Ruffo victorious once again for Only Wrestlers Live. Don't go anywhere. We are back in just 2 minutes live on Unbeaten. On Only Wrestlers Live, and we're moments away from a battle between two of the fastest rising women in professional wrestling. But right now, back to Joe Dombrowski.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is set for one fall.
This woman is an absolute bruiser.
Introducing first, making her way towards the ring from Cleveland, Ohio, this is Big Al Crowley.
It's been a fast ascension in the career of Alice Crowley. Big Al is now the only two-time JCW Women's Champion in history, with her second reign coming to an end only less than 2 weeks ago, in which she was not pinned. So Mark, safe to say Crowley has been in a foul mood ever since.
You say it is a fast ascension, and you would think so because she's only 23 years old. But Alice Crowley started wrestling as a young teenager, grinding away in IWA Mid-South. She's been in that ring consistently since she was 16 years old.
Of course, no overnight success, but the last couple of years have been very kind to Alice Crowley, who has really found who she is, and who she is an absolute bully.
Oh yeah, she's mad, and she's gonna stay mad.
The question is, will her temper be able to get the best of her opponent? The woman you're about to see is unlike any woman in our sport. She's a tattooed terror, a maniacal masochist. But there's something about Tara Zepp that is electric with fans, as you can see right here.
A very intimidating figure that Tara Zepp cuts as well. It's a very different vibe from Big Al, but it's intimidating nonetheless. Tara Zepp, about 3 years a pro, trained by Artemis Spencer, Nicole Matthews, some of Canada's finest.
Not to mention a very physical dojo in Vancouver. She arrived here from Canada a couple of years ago to compete, and you know, Tara Zepp, she's a very mysterious person. Not a lot is known about her. She is absolutely tattooed from head to toe. And yes, she's not that big in stature, but she makes up for it in having such an intimidating aura about her.
Well, Alice Crowley has the height and reach advantage in just about every match that she ever has. She's got a long body and uses those legs to her advantage with some big boots, as I'm sure we will see if she gets the opportunity to bring it out here against Tara Zepp.
Well, there's no doubt Crowley has a tenacious mindset, to say the least. But Tara Zepp at the same point, we've never seen her back down from anyone. Tara Zepp has faced many larger opponents, and there's just something about her. I don't want to call it supernatural, but there's some kind of force that helps Tara Zepp, and she's not afraid to brawl and toss hands.
With the Thez and right into the ground and pound. But fun fact about Big Al, she once competed in Power Slap as well, which in the state of Nevada requires an MMA license. So her hands are essentially registered deadly weapons. She walks around with an MMA license.
And there's no doubt Crowley is certainly not afraid to get into a bare knuckle brawl. But right now, Tara Zepp, the early advantage, boot in the corner, looking to continue the momentum here against Big Al.
Yeah, Tara has her right where she wants her.
Oh my God, what a counter there by Alice Crowley, face first and in the turnbuckle. And look at Crowley here, wasting no time whatsoever. And now she's on the offensive, a full mount collection of right hands to the villain.
Wow. That is just absolutely raining down.
And those were closed fists. And you've seen full well what Crowley is able to do in JCW. Oh, what a suplex.
Yeah, Big Al's gone to war with the best of them. Hook of the leg here. Long-standing friendship / rivalry with Danny Moe. Been in there with Sunny Kiss recently in that match that you talked about where she was not pinned. The opposing team was J-Rod and Nyla Rose.
And now the champion is the American Gladiator, J-Rod.
That's right.
Not sitting well at all with Big Al. Oh, she went for the IUDDT there, but Crowley able to evade! And a massive drop kick landing square to the jaw. And now look at the perfect plex there, right into a cover and a bridge. And Tara Zepp able to stay alive. And that's the technique that you learn in those dojos by Alice Crowley.
Big Al spent some time over in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling training in dojos over there as well. A very well-rounded competitor coming from a place like IWA Mid-South to learning her craft in Tokyo to competing in Power Slap. Watch here.
Oh my goodness. That may have been the loudest chop we've heard all night. And now Crowley looking to follow up there. A back elbow connects right into the cover is Big Al, and ooh, just in time. Tara Zepp able to get the shoulder up.
Zepp definitely fighting from underneath here, but staying alive in this contest.
You know, and Tara Zepp is no stranger to, let's be honest, pain. You know, she was mentored by the likes of Mick Foley, the late and legendary Sabu. Tara Zepp, in many ways, she thrives off of her own physical pain.
Well, she's going to find plenty of it here. Oh!
And Big Al knows it. A boot into a cover once again, and Crowley trying to exhaust Tara Zepp now, and wisely locks in a rear naked choke here. Some would call it a sleeper as well. Nonetheless, it is locked in.
Yeah, her Big Al's right arm is bearing down on the back of the head, pushing her left arm right into the throat of Tara Zepp.
And Crowley was unable to get the hooks in there, wrap the legs around the waist, which allowed Tara Zepp to fight back to her feet. But the damage certainly done. And look at Crowley. One of the most powerful strikers in any women's division.
Has her own ties to Canada as well. Thus Big Al recently made her Maple Leaf Pro debut, and it's my understanding she'll be back there.
Hold on,
Roll
cover
up.
here. Oh! Beautiful
That was
sunset flip.
Very close.
But look how quickly Crowley leaps right back to her feet with another boot. No style points here, just brutality. Right into a cover once again is Big Al, and Tara Zepp is fighting for air. She's fighting for her life right now.
If Tara Zepp can really absorb all of this punishment and perhaps enjoy it, that's got to be off-putting to be in the ring with her. At some point, you've got to wonder what more you can do.
And all the credit in the world to Big Al. She thrives off of physicality. She thrives off of brawling. Ooh, swinging wildly there, Tara Zepp. Desperate to get back in this matchup here. A couple of right hands. Whoa. Reversal here. Nice athleticism there by Tara Zepp. Case in point, beautiful leg sweep there by Tara Zepp. And there's a message.
Yeah, that trip really knocked the wind out of Big Al. Tara now with the advantage.
The double knees on the second rope. And now Zepp stacking Crowley into a cover here, and no. Crowley able to power out at 2. Still to come tonight, the JCW American title on the line. Joey Janela challenges Facade. We already heard from Janella earlier tonight. Oh, what a boot. We also have 2 incredible luchadors, Ricardo Rodriguez and Esfinehi.
That sounds awesome.
Absolutely will be, and so was that suplex by Alice Crowley.
That Saito is vicious. Hook of the leg.
Oh my God, that was close. Incredibly close. You have to wonder what Zepp has left. Even someone like her who thrives off of pain.
Yeah, stumbling there.
Now Crowley looking to put Tara Zep away. Oh!
Oh, right to the throat. Al follows her in. Lucha pass.
Whoop.
Oh!
A boot to the head of Crowley. And now Tara Zep trying to go once again for the IU-DDT. And this one connects. The IU-DDT, and Crowley is down. This is the most vulnerable we've seen Crowley in this match, and Zep wasting little time. Heading way up top. Could she be trying to land the elbow? And she does. Tara Zep into the cover, and she finds a way to best Big Al.
Here is your winner, Tara Zep.
Incredible physicality in that match, Johnny.
An absolute war of attrition. Tara Zep gave up size, gave up power, dealt with a vicious attack throughout the match, but somehow Tara Zep found a way. She found an opening and took full advantage with the Hellbow. And a victorious debut for Tara Zep on Only Wrestlers Live. We'll be right back on Unbeaten. Dombrowski.
This is set for one fall.
And took the burrito.
That's not right.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know what's going on here. The music was cut off. Joe Dombrowski did not announce Charlie Haas's name. Perhaps that was by demand of Charlie Haas. I don't know.
I don't think Dombrowski's going to get crosswise with Charlie Haas under any circumstances.
And there's a definite history between Charlie Haas and his opponent tonight.
First in the ring.
Oh boy. Oh.
You don't deserve. Shut up! Shut up!
Face down.
I'll come down there and paintbrush each and every one of you. We'll call your ass right out of here.
Pittsburgh isn't having it.
You suck! You suck! So is your wife! You suck! I have something important to say. If you don't shut up, you're not gonna hear it. And I'm gonna get the hell out of this shithole. Cause I hate Pittsburgh too. You're a bunch of Aaron Rodgers. That's what y'all are. Shut up. I'm talking. It's not your turn.
Well, this city is synonymous with tremendous amateur wrestling, which is
Anyways,
Haas's background.
As I was saying. Shut up, man.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Your
God.
ass.
Oh, hold on. Luke Hawks has had enough. No need to wait for his introduction. Hawks is ready to go. And I believe this match is officially underway. Hawks, the brawl has begun.
Yep, we just heard the bell ring here, and clearly the animosity between these men on display right away. Look at the height on that back body drop.
A long way down for Charlie Haas. Every time these two men have crossed paths throughout 2025, it became violent and personal. And that's a man right there who respects.
From New Orleans, Louisiana, the Southern Stomper, Luke Hawks.
Now that is a proper introduction that Charlie Haas was trying to deny. Nonetheless, Charlie Haas trying to re-strategize perhaps on the outside.
Yeah, trying to get in the face of fans at ringside here, making himself feel big, I guess.
Oh, God.
Gets caught from behind by Hawks.
And that's a man wearing a Wildcat Wrestling t-shirt, so clearly a fan of Luke Hawks. Wildcat Wrestling, one of the most successful promotions in the country. Always completely spectacular shows, and wow, Luke Hawks sending Haas into the barricade and slightly into the front row.
Hawks has a winning record thus far at OWA, 2-1. His one loss coming in his prior bout with Charlie Haas,
which was in, let's say, slightly underhanded fashion, because that's really what Charlie Haas is all about, which is a shame, because you could argue he's the most skilled grappler in our sport. To this day, as Hawks sends him into this chair against the barricade. I mean, Haas is a 3-time WWE Tag Team Champion, 2-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion, and a decorated amateur wrestler going all the way back to his days in Seton Hall. But over the last number of years, Charlie Haas has become an angry and bitter man, and he has really taken issue with Luke Hawks. As he sends him into the post, Hawks fighting his way back inside the ring now.
Haas has been on the majority of OWA events. In singles matches, he has a winning record of 3-0. We'll see if he can keep that here tonight.
Hawks trying to, oh, what a counter there.
That was beautiful.
And there's the technique, there's the amateur background of Charlie Haas on display.
I watch wrestling for wrestling, and that was cool.
Certainly was a great counter. And Pittsburgh letting know Charlie Haas what they think. And you got to think back to March in OWA Los Angeles. Charlie Haas completely decimated Vin Parker, made him bleed to an excessive level, threw the referee to the ground, and then struck Vin Parker with a fireball. Just the most disgusting behavior. Case in point right now, utilizing the full 5 count. The official has to be very careful here.
Yeah, I would not want to, under those circumstances you just described, go in and be the referee on a Charlie Haas match.
Well, look, Haas doesn't know how to control himself at this point in his career. He truly doesn't.
Not a lot of technical skill goes into throwing a fireball in a man's face.
No. Meanwhile, Luke Hawks, over the past 2 decades, no matter where he's competed, he's been a powerhouse. He's won titles in 9 promotions. But right now, Charlie Haas is slowly wearing him down.
And that's what makes it even worse, is that Charlie Haas actually is a phenomenal wrestler and a phenomenal athlete. He doesn't have to resort to those tactics.
Well, there's something mentally that has snapped in Charlie Haas. Perhaps it's knowing he has less good days ahead of him than he has behind him. Perhaps there's personal issues. Nonetheless, he's the kind of man, when he shows up inside to an arena, everyone just avoids him. They walk the opposite direction. They don't even make eye contact. I know you haven't. I know I haven't.
No, I frighten easily.
Vicious whip into the corner. And Luke Hawks is in dire straits here.
Yep, definitely on the bottom so far in this contest, trying to make his way back to his feet here. Charlie's going to help him to the outside.
And Charlie Haas will take umbrage with just about anyone. He has issues with Luke Hawx. Just one of the issues is the fact that Luke Hawx was cast in Young Rock as Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Charlie Haas feels like it should have been him.
to play Stone Cold?
Absolutely. He's made it very clear he feels like it should have been him, as now Luke Hawx trying to fight back here. Now the official on the outside trying to maintain order. Good luck with these two as Hawx sends Haas over the top into the front row, and oh boy.
Seeing the action spill to the front.
That
Front row for the
5-year-old
first time
kid
here.
might want to get away here. He might be younger than 5. I have no idea. Oh, God.
Action getting closer and closer to us here at the commentary table.
And considering everything Charlie Haas has done, this is very well deserved. And the official showing a lot of leniency here as Hawx attacks with the chair on the outside. A chair that was introduced by Haas. Ooh. Oh, hold on. Out of desperation, Charlie Haas, a chop to the throat and then crashes into a chair.
Yeah, he just ate it through a whole bunch of chairs. Oh, this whole section in front of us is getting displaced.
Oh, my God. This is getting a little too close to us at the commentary desk.
We've got a lot of equipment here, fellas. We're not going to be able to run out of the way.
Well, there's a lot of room in the Sunny Days Arena. I wish they would go somewhere else. A reverse! And Hawk sent into the corner. Okay, I'm being told in my ear that just moments during the commercial break, moments before this match, this was turned into a no count-out match, no disqualification match, because the OWA officials knew how violent and how out of control this match might become. And that would certainly explain what we're seeing on the outside, Mark.
Yeah, it certainly has become uncontrollable as Charlie Haas gets back into the ring here. Really the place where you would think Haas would want to keep the action.
Well, Hawx wanted to get this victory in the center of the ring. Charlie Haas taking full advantage now with a right hand. Well, the fans are certainly getting even closer to the action than they anticipated tonight.
Yeah, this whole section just got wiped out in front of us here, and people have recalibrated by any means.
Oh!
Beautiful lariat there, sends Haas down.
Both men down, and not to mention Charlie Haas owns he owes an order of nachos to someone in the front row because they went flying.
Best opening that Hawx has had here. Haas just leaving the ring again.
But you see the damage is done. Luke Hawx is struggling.
Whoa.
Oh, now he's stealing a fan's beer. Good Lord. Luke Hawx has no idea what is happening. The damage has been done. He is struggling in the ring, and Haas taking a victory sip. If you're seeing Charlie Haas for the first time, this is what he's all about. Oh my God!
Oh, right in the referee!
He went to spit in the eyes of Luke Hawx. Hawx was able to evade, and the referee, he's blinded. Those suds will blind a man. Oh, Hawx going for a roll-up here. Hold on. Oh, quick roll-up.
Got it rolled up again.
I'm not sure the official can see, but he makes the pin, and that should be a victory for Luke Hawx. That should be a victory for Luke Hawx, but, well, the official hasn't declared it. Oh, God.
Oh!
Charlie Haas sending Luke to the outside. And, hold on. What the hell is happening here? Wait. No, what?
Wait.
Winner, Charlie Haas.
Charlie Haas just convinced the referee that he was the one who made the pin? Is that what just happened?
Well, whoever the official declares the victor is the victor, and the official didn't know who he was counting for. He didn't see the pin by Luke Haas. It fooled our timekeeper. And now Charlie Haas walks away with an absolutely deplorable victory. Luke Hawx will have something to say about this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We We are back live on Unbeaten as two astounding luchadors are about to go to battle, but for the introductions, back to Joe Dombrowski.
This next match is set for one fall and features the international stars of Lucha Libre. Introducing first, from Los Angeles, California, weighing 250 pounds, Ricardo Rodriguez.
This is a man who lives, breathes, and thrives because of professional wrestling and Lucha Libre. A 20-year veteran with a spectacular career that has spanned the likes of WWE and now being CEO of 3 Legacies Wrestling in Pennsylvania. Fans are always excited to see Ricardo Rodriguez, especially now in his OWA debut.
Yeah, a man who literally needs no introduction. I'm excited to see what he still does in a pro wrestling match, especially against a talent like Esfinehi.
He is so experienced. There isn't anything he hasn't seen or done over the course of his career. He's been in the ring with the likes of John Cena, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, amongst many others. What a truly incredible contest we have tonight. But while Rodriguez is ready for action, we are awaiting the arrival of the true Sphinx of Lucha Libre. As you just heard from Joe Dombrowski, Esfinehi has had nothing but success over the course of his career. The current CMLL Mexican National Light Heavyweight Champion, an absolutely slam schedule, just competed on CMLL's first ever broadcast in the US less than a couple of weeks ago, and this title has a lineage going all the way back to 1942. And what's amazing about Esfinehi, he won this title back in May of 2023. He is essentially approaching 900 days as champion.
That's quite an accomplishment. Looking great, too.
Esfinehi has a true combination of not just Lucha Libre ability and quickness and elusiveness, he's a powerhouse. Ricardo Rodriguez showing tremendous respect.
Setting the stage here, Esfinehi comes dressed for battle. Getting a Lucha chant here in Pittsburgh.
Well, Mark, we spoke about it at the open of this broadcast that tonight, fans of only wrestlers, fans of professional wrestling, fans of Lucha Libre would be thrilled from start to finish. And that certainly has been the case.
We're really seeing the development more and more all the time of one international style of pro wrestling, but it is very influenced by Lucha Libre, which is really becoming the lingua franca of pro wrestling all over the world. Sold more tickets than anywhere on earth at CMLL at Arena Mexico last year.
Over 1 million tickets sold by CMLL in 2025.
And in one building.
Right, and they're on pace to break their record of sellouts. It is absolutely incredible. I had the honor of calling their event in Vegas, and the electricity felt on their first U.S. broadcast, it's really difficult to describe. As we say, Esfinehi, one of their top stars, go to battle with Ricardo Rodriguez, who has been on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania.
Let's see how much Lucha, the veteran, still has in him. Certainly, Esfinehi, earlier in his career, likely a bit more nimble.
Well, Rodriguez certainly still has the Lucha skill set, but he also knows he's, well, case in point, he doesn't plan on being able to out-quick Esfinehi. Ricardo knows that he needs to try to catch Esfinehi after a mistake, but great start here by Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez definitely has the size and strength advantage here.
Certainly a good feeling out process early on. by Ricardo Rodriguez and Esfinehi. Ooh, great technique there by Rodriguez. Tremendous counter, though, by the Sphinx. Esfinehi, also the former Occidente light heavyweight champion and tag team champion as well. Reversal here by Rodriguez. Oh, able to evade. Charging in. And a boot by Esfinehi, who has never met a risk he wasn't willing to take off the top. Oh, look at Rodriguez catching him, face planting Esfinehi. That is the intelligence, the ring awareness, the experience of the veteran Rodriguez.
It was a risk that did not pay off that time. No water in the pool for Esfinehi. And now Rodriguez has him right where he wants him.
Rodriguez is such an intelligent tactician. Ooh. And you know, Mark, this is something we kind of expected if Rodriguez was able to find an opening in this match. Yes, he's a luchador, but at this point in his career, he would prefer to wear down someone like Esfinehi, to slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, the pace will quicken when Esfinehi is on offense, as you see right there, and then chop down to size.
Look how quickly Rodriguez was able to counter there into a brute force clothesline. Rodriguez, owner and operator of Three Legacies Wrestling in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and a boot to the chest of Esfinehi. And win or lose, when you are in the ring with so many legends like Rodriguez has been over the years, you pick up something every single time.
Yeah, learning just by osmosis from being around the greats. And taking it all out on Esfinehi's chest here.
Into a cover. Ooh, Esfinehi gets the right shoulder up. And, you know, many wrestling fans would argue one of the greatest Royal Rumble entrances in history was by Ricardo Rodriguez. Not the fanciest car in the world, but one of the greatest entrances. As Rodriguez continues to go to work on Esfinehi on the outside. Ooh! Slap to the chest, and Rodriguez really stunning the fans here in Pittsburgh, and now a right hand. Ooh, Rodriguez goes to work. Esfinehi does not want that knee to be on the bottom row. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, in a real bad position here as Esfinehi gets to the outside.
Esfinehi looking for a reprieve on the outside. Rodriguez wisely wasting no time, heads to the outside, but there's the powerful striking on display of Esfinehi. As he looks to follow up. Ooh. It's been hard hitting tonight. We've already seen Tessa Blanchard retain the OWA Women's Championship. Still to come, the JCW American Championship on the line in our second main event tonight. Joey Janella challenging Facade. Meanwhile, Esfinehi rolls Rodriguez back inside the ring. But Rodriguez, very powerful striker in his own right. Ooh.
Caught him. Ducks a line, does Esfinehi.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, a low bridge sends him to the outside.
Rodriguez, the intelligence on display, imploring the official to make the call. Looks like Rodriguez would gladly take a countout victory here.
It'll still be a win in the record books. It'll be a win here in the OWA as Esfinehi has an even record thus far, including trading wins with Joe Alonszo, as we talked about earlier.
Joe Alonzo's victory was absolutely disgusting, but we'll get into that at another date. As Rodriguez, a boot into a cover, and Esfinehi able to use his core strength to power out at two. Is he trying to rip the mask off?
Is he going for the mask? That certainly is unsportsmanlike, even if it would not result in a disqualification here.
And in Lucha Libre rules, it would be a disqualification.
Talking some smack, too.
Oh my goodness, Esfinehi, perhaps out of desperation. A super kick connects, and now a clothesline. And Esfinehi He has been stifled thus far in his rifle-powered offense, but now picking things up. A knee, and now off the top. Oh, springboard drop kick to Rodriguez into the cover.
This could be it.
Rodriguez able to stay in the fight. Once again, thank you for joining us live from Pittsburgh, Sunny Days Arena. We are on the Unbeaten Sports Channel, your home for live sports, your home for exclusive OWA action. And just, wow, launching Rodriguez to the opposite corner, who wisely rolls to the outside, but Esfinehi looking to switch gears. He's not waiting. Through the second rope. Shoulder tackle, suicide dive right into Rodriguez.
Still within diving distance of Esfinehi, and Rodriguez got caught.
What a night it's been. Unbeaten Sports can be seen across the U.S., Canada, Europe, into a cover here, and Rodriguez gets the shoulder up. Unbeaten can be seen in Africa, now even Australia, on Fetch TV. Truly, one of the fastest rising sports channels. We thank you for joining us. As Esfinehi could be looking for the Esfinehi splash for Rodriguez. Oh, he changes direction right into a cross body, and it connects. Look at the quick reversal by Rodriguez into a cover. Could that be it? No.
So close.
Rodriguez has really had Esfinehi scouted so well in this matchup. Oh, quick reversal.
Again, Rodriguez coming out of that exchange for the better.
What a cutter. Could that be it? Esfinehi powers out, but Rodriguez once again has an answer for the Sphinx.
With both men down, the crowd here in Pittsburgh doing their best to revive Esfinehi.
And we have really seen a switch in the mentality of Ricardo Rodriguez really throughout this match, Mark.
Yeah, he's definitely getting angrier and angrier as this match progresses, and he realizes that he's not just going to have his way with someone who is his junior in pro wrestling.
And now Rodriguez has Esfinehi in a tree of woe. And oh God, a boot to the, was that to the nether region?
Yeah, he was getting a,
Oh!
Leaving your back exposed to your opponent, never a good idea. Ricardo coming in the hard way.
And perhaps that boot woke him up. Into a cover goes Esfinehi, and Rodriguez able to get the left shoulder up. Esfinehi didn't quite have the energy to hook the leg on that one. Who in the hell is this?
Well, I mean,
Wait.
someone with an Esfinehi mask here, but
What in God's name is Joe Alonszo doing here? Wait, oh! Alonszo was trying to distract Esfinehi. It didn't work. An Enziguri. Rodriguez is down. And now Esfinehi. Springboard. Esfinehi splash into the cover. And it has backfired for Joe Alonszo. Esfinehi with the victory.
Here is your winner, Esfinehi!
We mentioned the rivalry between Esfinehi and Joe Alonszo. That is the mask that Alonszo took from Esfinehi, but this time it backfired, and Esfinehi was able to overcome, but clearly the issues have yet to be resolved between Joe Alonszo and the true Sphinx of professional wrestling. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with your main event live on Unbeaten. It is main event time. The JCW American Championship is the prize. Without further ado, let's go to Joe Dombrowski.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following matchup is your main event of the evening. A second fall at stake for the JCW American title, and in this bout, there are no disqualifications.
The stage has been set by Joe Dombrowski, and the bad boy has arrived in OWA
No disqualification is going to play right into the hands of Joey Janela.
Absolutely, Joey Janela is a true violent chameleon of professional wrestling. No lack of motivation for Joey Janela. He told us earlier, the more titles he wins, the more he travels the world, the more women, the more lobster he gets to eat. Of course, this is a man who invented the massively popular spring break. He's also a former GCW World Champion, former GCW Extreme Champion, helped lay the groundwork for AEW, one of the originals back in 2019, and he is a true fire starter and chaos creator. But as we heard moments ago, his opponent is steadfast on keeping the gold. And that is a Pittsburgh ovation for a Pittsburgh boy and a JCW American champion. The 19-year veteran Facade walks the battle tonight with the weight of the Steel City on his shoulders. As you know, Mark, he's beyond proud to be the 4th ever JCW American champion. His reign recently crossed 100 days, and he remains one of the most exciting athletes we will see in our sport.
Coming to the ring with that Facade-graph, gives it to a young fan, and the message on the back, happy birthday, Violent J. It is the man who began Juggalo Championship Wrestling and the entire movement around the Juggalos. Joe Bruce's birthday today. Happy birthday to him.
How about a whoop whoop for the birthday of Violent J, as Facade proudly wears the American Championship around his waist. He defeated Ninja Mac back in January, and he's an absolute live wire. And Mark, you know these two men very well. There is no length either one of them will go to. The Sunny Days Arena is a large place. It might not be enough to contain the insanity we're about to see. This is no disqualification.
Yeah, I worry when I see steep staircases and balconies around us. I want to see this thing stay at least within the confines of that barricade.
For the official introductions, let's go to Joe Dombrowski.
Introducing first to my right, the challenger. Hailing from Asbury Park, New Jersey, weighing 205 pounds, he is the bad boy, Joey Janela. And his opponent, he is roaming the streets at night, creeping while you're sleeping, weighing in today at 191 pounds. He is the current reigning and defending JCW American Champion, the Neon Ninja, the Aerosol Assassin, the Aerial Arsonist, Facade!
A heck of an introduction for the JCW American Champion. It's a relatively new championship for Juggalo Championship Wrestling, but the very first championships in historical lineage of professional wrestling. The American Championship was older than any of them. Before we had a world champion, we had American champions on this soil. Facade carrying all of that legacy around his waist here tonight against a man who helped to lead Game Changer Wrestling in the two-day war against JCW last August at the Gathering, and really through much of 2025.
And as you mentioned in the opening moments of this broadcast, there are severe issues between JCW and GCW. So Joey Janela has vowed to bring that title to Game Changer Wrestling. That would really shake the core of JCW. And, you know, ultimately, this is what OWA is about. There is an open door. We want the best competitors possible in OWA. Case in point, Janela, Facade going to war.
These guys struggling now, grappling for an advantage. It's going to be some time feeling each other out, testing each other's strength and balance, and Facade has incredible balance and core strength. Look at it there.
No question, case in point. And, you know, these two have gone to battle before, but never with a title on the line. And well, let's be honest, there isn't anything either one of these men haven't done to their bodies over the course of their career. Janella has survived death-defying plunges, a smorgasbord of weapons, even fire.
Well, and Joey Janela came out of the week in Vegas with the most talked about match of anyone in the absolute spectacle that he put on with Brody Lee Jr. So
no doubt.
Joey Janela is at a peak of his career right now coming into this match for the American Championship.
And meanwhile, Facade has exhilarated fans throughout the world. We're talking Mexico, England, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Japan, even lived in India for 6 months training professional wrestling students. He truly is world traveled as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. Facade has wrestled in places where we don't even think of there being pro wrestling. The guy's been to Russia twice in pro wrestling. He makes his living literally just traveling the world and spray painting and fighting for championships.
You know, it really speaks to how global professional wrestling is. What a uppercut there by Janella, which is exactly why we are exclusively on Unbeaten. Unbeaten is a global sports channel. You can watch this all throughout the world on so many different smart TVs.
I hope that Facade continues to be a globe-trotting professional wrestler. Oh, let me. There you go, Joey. I hope that Facade isn't, putting down roots and traveling less now that he's a married man.
Well, that is something that happened just over a week ago, but that's personal business he can speak about on social media. Congratulations to him and his bride as well. But right now, Facade, the last thing he's thinking about is marriage. He wants to find a way to hold on to the title, able to evade there, and follows up with a chop. And this really has been a feeling out process in this no disqualification match. Many expected a fast start, but these are two very intelligent professional wrestlers. They realize you don't want to make a mistake too early.
Yeah, it would definitely be you're only going to get one mistake in a match like this.
Yes.
Is the point. And Joey, if my memory serves correctly, Joey Janela was the second man from Game Changer Wrestling to invade Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Jeeves brought in Effie. Effie brought in Joey Janela as his tag partner, and they really wreaked some havoc in the tag division of JCW last year.
And when you wreak havoc in JCW, that's really saying something. As a
high bar.
Tremendous reversal here, sending Facade into the turnbuckle. Now Joey Janela goes to work, and Janela really has changed his style over the years as well. He's become much more methodical, and he's always done whatever it takes to win, but he's really gone overboard with being surgical in the ring and wearing down his opponents.
Well, you have to. At some point, the human body can only take so much. Facade has not reached that point yet.
And Facade trying to goat Janela in. Janela certainly had that scouted, but a shot to the midsection by the Neon Ninja. And there is the inventive offense of the JCW American Champion. Springboard! And a drop kick connects both men down.
Got him. Yeah, Facade really has not slowed down the pace, has not slowed down his aerialism at all in his wrestling offense, despite the scars on his body, his years of competing. He also competed in Power Slap in Vegas.
Absolutely has, and he's got a powerful right hand and a powerful knee across the throat of Joey Janela, who wisely bridges up to get the shoulders up.
Facade, one of those competitors in JCW who is a juggalo through and through, somebody who connects easily with the crowd because he lives that same kind of lifestyle, and that's the kind of lifestyle Janela leads right there.
Took a little bit too long. Janela able to sweep the leg into a German suplex, wasted no time into a cover, new champ, no. Facade able to get the right shoulder up. And this is a Joey Janela who competed at the very first All-In what? A hardcore match against Hangman Adam Page. There isn't any kind of match that Joey Janela doesn't thrive in.
Feels just as comfortable in a death match as he does taking on the Invisible Man. Right now, he's got the American champion over that middle rope.
Utilize that entire 5 count. Joey Janela, his biggest influence, many would say. The legendary Sabu. He's the man who retired Sabu.
Hey, that's the same is true about Facade. Facade, you'll see
Right.
attributes to Sabu
Cover
throughout.
here. Ooh, Janela able to roll out. That was ever so close, but look how quickly Janela springs back to his feet with a vicious European uppercut.
Looking pretty satisfied with himself is the bad boy of pro wrestling. Referee George Ross, who's also spent his time in JCW, can't do much about it. No DQ here.
But thus far, both competitors, it's almost like a battle of egos here. Who is the better wrestler? That's essentially what we're seeing thus far. You have to wonder who is going to take the first big risk.
Well, that's quite a battle of egos. These both of these men are aware of all that they have accomplished in pro wrestling. Joey in control now. But we've got some of our youngest attendees getting behind the Neon Ninja.
Well, a lot of these young fans here, they've been watching Facade for their entire life. He is a local hero here in Pittsburgh. Yes, he's traveled across the world, but he's home right now. He wants to make everybody proud, and Joey Janela looking to stifle it once again into a cover. Do we have a new American champion? No! You saw Facade desperately trying to grab the bottom rope, but also able to kick out at the same time.
Joey has kept this at a slower and more methodical pace, as you said. He's done a great job of grounding Facade.
Yeah, the neck crank now, trying to wear down the Neon Ninja. The fans, as you mentioned, trying to get behind Facade. But Joey Janela into another cover, and Facade able to stay in the fight, but Janela, no wasted motion whatsoever, right back on the offensive.
Facade in a bad situation here, trying to get to the rope. Janela constricting the flow of oxygen and blood, traveling through Facade. He's trying to get back up to his feet here.
And the style we are seeing from Joey Janela right now, this is what happens when you do travel the world. When you build your name, you become a global household name, and you pick up so many different tricks and tools. Case in point, spiking Facade. We have to have a new champion here. No, Facade just in time, but he is feeling the effects on the cervical spine there.
Well, yeah, that basically a pile driver just came down hard on the top of his head, did Facade. And now Joey's going all the way up.
Whoa. The bad boy heading up to the mezzanine of the Sunny Days Arena. Facade is down. Oh, he took a little bit too long at Facade. It took all his energy, but stifling Janela just for a moment, and there's the athleticism all the way up to the top rope. And a boot buys Facade just a little bit of time here, and oh my God. What's Facade thinking here? Oh!
Bringing Janela back in the hard way is Facade, and now there's a real opening for the American champion.
A much needed opening. Can Facade find a way to bring the title and keep the title in JCW?
Successfully defended that championship against Kerry Morton, Nick Nemeth,
Right.
Mecha Wolf. Another A-list name to add to Facade's resume if he can successfully defend that championship here tonight.
But Janela has a grit and an ability to withstand pain that is beyond most, as Facade, a trifecta of clotheslines, looking to get a second wind. Now taking the fight, taking the fists and the boots to Joey Janela.
These guys have such a similar trajectory, so many similar skills. And look at them, they almost mirror each other in their gear here tonight. Oh, Janela runs into a big boot hard in the corner.
Janela charging in, Facade, like you said, gets the boot. Oh, quick springboard into an enziguri, that connects. Facade quickly into a cover, hooks the leg, and the champion retain. Janella finds a way out.
Facade doing an excellent job of keeping Joey Janela at bay. Strike and move, get more space, build up more momentum, and strike again.
Well, it's been much needed as Janella has been in control for much of this title match thus far. But now, Facade, the first man back to his feet. Janella is rocked in the corner. The Neon Ninja charging in, and now Janella with a boot. Immediately heads up to the top turnbuckle, looking for perhaps a tornado DDT.
Facade got out.
Whoa, hold on a second. There's the agility of the Neon Ninja heading up to the top.
And we're about to see some funambulism like in the circus. Oh, got caught.
The bad boy catches Facade. Are you kidding me? And now a collection of elbows. Facade out of desperation, a spike DDT.
Nailed him. That whole exchange did not go the way that Facade wanted, but he still came out on top.
Both men thoroughly exhausted. Janella rolling to the outside. And as we mentioned, this is no disqualification. All weapons legal. All holds legal. No countouts. You can only win by pinfall or submission. Oh God, what is Facade thinking? He doesn't see the chair, I don't believe. Oh, he does now. Janella wisely was ready. Oh dear God. Double stop on the steel. And we're about to have a new American champion. And oh my God, Facade finds a way to kick out.
Can you imagine, Johnny, if a GCW guy wins the JCW American Championship on Violent J's birthday?
Well, you tell me. You're at every single JCW event. What would that do?
I mean, it's a real slap in the face. And the last guy we want to see carrying around gold in JCW is Joey Janela.
And that's exactly what is thriving the bad boy right now. He's the ultimate antagonist. And now a chair to the midsection. Oh, Facade is in deep trouble here. And now to the back. Janella right into a cover. He'll win any way necessary, but it's going to take a little bit more.
Facade really worse for wear. Got a steel chair thrown right at his skull. After getting slapped in Vegas last week, I mean, the champion is wearied.
And Janella has the confident grin on his face. He feels like he's moments away from taking the gold home from Pittsburgh. Oof. I mean, this is more insulting.
Yeah, some of those strikes connecting, some of them, yeah, just meant to insult and demean the champion.
As we mentioned, Mark, there's a distinct history between Facade and Janella. Now, oh, Janella charging in, drop toe hold, and face first. Into the chair goes Janella. What a counter by the champion.
More shades of Sabu, who had a hand in mentoring both of these men. Facade pointing now to the heavens.
Indeed he is. And now Facade, oh my God, a springboard moonsault by the American champion, rolls into the cover, and he does not retain. My God, what a match.
Facade still with the upper hand here. He's stirring first.
The steel chair is decimated. Both men are supremely damaged. Oh. Joey Janela just welcoming strikes by Facade. Oh, God. You could hear it's loud in Pittsburgh in this title match.
Some contingent of fans of the bad boy here. Much deeper voices than the ones that are cheering for Facade.
No question. Nonetheless, There's certainly fans for both of these men. Oh, snapdragon.
Right
Janella
on the head.
locked in the double underhook. Connects, and now, oh God, no. Going for again.
The position of that chair, not advantageous to anyone.
New champion, no. Janella perfectly executed into the bridge on top of the steel. And Facade, he's writhing in pain right now. He's trying to get feeling back. There's no doubt that shocked the nerves in the upper thoracic, in the lower cervical. No question about it. And the eyes, the sadistic eyes of Joey Janela. Mark, you know there's no limit to his creativity when it comes to violence.
Absolutely stalking his prey right now is Janela. What's he gonna do with him?
Oh, God. Ooh!
Oh, that was an open-handed slap. Again, just mocking Facade.
Joey Janela can sense victory once again. He's calling for it right now, the elusiveness. Facade, oh! He just threw his body at Janela and connected with a heel kick. Oh. A chop right to the throat. Now Janela, counter by Facade. Now the Neon Ninja going for a springboard. Janela wise to it, able to evade. Oh my God, Janela cleans the clock once again of Facade, and both men are decimated.
Both of these men gonna leave it all in the ring.
Well, there's not gonna be much left of either one of them. Oh, Janela, oh God, no. Oh!
Just decimates that chair.
And now Janela wasting no time, looking for the package pile
No,
driver.
not again.
Oh God, he's won so many matches with the package pile driver. That has to be it. Janela did damage to himself there. Into a cover, new champion. Oh my God! Facade, out of instinct, was able to reach the bottom rope. Janela didn't realize that Facade was close enough. And can you blame him at this point? Both men exhausted, both men desperate.
Janela once again going to the outside. What's in his mind here? Going for Dombrowski again.
Oh my God, one chair is destroyed. Why not bring another into the fray? And it might be more than that.
Looks proud of himself.
There's no doubt he is. Janela, always well prepared for any kind of chaos. Oh dear God. Janela tossing a table into the ring, along with a steel chair.
Pittsburgh crowd coming alive for the sight of the wood.
Janela certainly has something in mind.
That table's seen better days.
Regarding this table, that is a thick piece of wood right there. Janela, though, dealing with damage to his lumbar spine in his own right. I don't think Facade realizes that a table has even been introduced in this match.
Yeah, Facade's been kind of out of it, had his back turned most of this time.
Oh. Janela trying to hoist up Facade to send him through, to suplex him through the table.
Blocks it again.
Whoa.
Facade had some time to recover.
Oh! Falcon arrow by the Neon Ninja. Janela to the outside. No disqualification, no count out, no time limit. We will go until there is a victor. And once again,
pointing to the heavens there.
Oh,
coming off that chair.
Oh my God! Springboard off the chair and the top rope.
Nailed it perfectly. Caught Janela flush, and now the champion has an opportunity to wrap this one up.
He needs to capitalize. If he doesn't, Janela's most certainly going to find a way. Oh God, he has!
That's just skull.
A fastball down the middle. Steel meets skull. And this might be, oh dear God, no, Joey, don't do this. No, I know it's no disqualification, but my God, oh! Oh God, that could have crushed the larynx. Janella into a cover, and we have a new, oh! That's all it took. Facade couldn't do anything, but he was able to roll up the shoulder, and now Janella wasting no time.
Took all of his might to get that shoulder just a few inches off of the mat or the chair.
Dear God. Facade is on the table. Steel chair on top. Janella up top. Double stomp through the table. My God, Joey. Just end the damn match into a cover. And we have we don't. What? Facade refuses to give up in his hometown. He found a way, perhaps in the pin attempt. Janella hooked the legs, but Facade was able to use his core strength to roll through.
It's just instinct at this point. It's gotta be. I'm not sure if Facade knows that he's in his hometown.
The eyes of Joey Janella have gone from confidence to frustration and shock. As Mark, he has to be thinking, what the hell do I have to do?
And yet seems to be within striking distance of winning that championship. Hoists Facade up on the top turnbuckle now. Calling a brain buster. Bold to call your shot like that.
The damage has already been done to the neck, to the thoracic of Facade. Now desperately trying to fight out with shots to the ribs. Now forearms by Facade, sending Janella down.
Facade caught it!
The third time is not the charm with the steel chair. And now Facade, all the way up top.
Can he do it? Yes, with the greatest of ease!
The Neon Destroyer into a cover, and my God, Facade finds a way!
What a match!
Here is your winner, and still JCW American Champion,
as the fans of Pittsburgh rightfully standing on their feet for a vicious war of attrition, as JCW fans breathe a sigh of relief because the Neon Ninja is bringing the title home.
Bringing it back to the Dark Carnival, bringing it back to the Michigan Loop over Memorial Day weekend. Please watch Lunacy on YouTube on Thursday nights.
Absolutely. As Facade, one of the most grueling matches of his long career in his hometown, in front of his home fans, finds a way to remain the JCW American Champion. And what a night it's been from Pittsburgh. Live on Unbeaten Sports, your home for live sports. For everyone here at Only Wrestlers Live, for Mark Roberts, for Joe Dombrowski, I'm Johnny LaQuasto. We thank you so much for joining us. Follow Only Wrestlers Live everywhere, because the party will always continue. Oh, wait. Could we, hold on a second, let's not go off air yet.
Let's not cut this yet.
Tremendous sign of respect there between two absolute warriors. As I was saying, this has been Only Wrestlers Live in Pittsburgh. Thanks for watching us on the Unbeaten Sports Channel.